I am pretty sure you are ready for this one, Mediterranean agriculture, because at this point in the semester, we are all ready for it. Mediterranean agriculture rests on this important thing, which is climate. The type of climate that you can grow Mediterranean crops in is called a Mediterranean climate. Crazy, right? A Mediterranean climate is a warm, dry summer, cool, moist winter climate. Now, if you live in California, you recognize it because it's our climate. Take a look. The map on the left-hand side shows you the places on the planet that have a Mediterranean climate. And then you can see on the right-hand side, that's California. The fact is, pretty much all of those places look something like that picture on the right-hand side. They all have a very similar look. I could take you, if you're a Californian, and drop you in Spain or Italy or the southern part of South Africa or certain parts of Chile, and you would think you were in California because it looks very similar to us. Now, you can see on that map, there's a very limited climatological landscape that's Mediterranean. California, Chile, Australia, the Mediterranean basin, in other words, the countries that surround the Mediterranean Sea, and South Africa. These places produce two high-end crops. Can you guess what they are? I'll wait. Drum roll. Survey says olives and grapes. That's right. If you look on the left-hand side, that is Tuscany, Italy, and an olive grove. On the right-hand side, that is a vineyard in Napa Valley. Let's face it, it looks nice. It's appealing. It's attractive. What does this type of farming, this type of agriculture have that other versions of agriculture do not have? Multiple ways to earn money. That's correct. Through the crops themselves, of course, and through tourism. That's right. Who goes on a, let's say, cauliflower tasting tour, or a broccoli tasting tour, or a bell pepper tasting tour? That's right, no one. But lots of people go wine tasting and olive oil tasting for that matter. And as you just saw, and as you can see in both of these pictures, the landscape where you have a Mediterranean agriculture and a Mediterranean climate is usually pretty nice and it's attractive. So it has its own built-in way of making money, which is by drawing people to spend money to be in that area, taste wine, eat things made with olive oil. Grapes are the highest value U.S. fruit crop. That's right, grapes are #1 in the United States. And the U.S. is one of the world's leaders in wine production. It accounts for about 12% of all wine production on Earth. But we make really good wine, so our wine matters. California accounts for 85% of U.S. production. And California makes the best of the U.S. wine and some of the greatest wines in the world. In the United States, there are more than 10,000 wineries. It's kind of astounding. And the export value is more than $1.5 billion. Now, that's just the export value. We are consuming much more of it in the United States than we are exporting in terms of our own wine. The top 5 U.S. wine markets are, can you guess these? The European Union, Canada, Hong Kong, Japan, and China. What do those last 3 have in common? They are not big producers of quality wine. That's right. Take a look at wine production in hectoliters on Earth. Notice Italy is #1, the largest producer and the largest exporter of wine in the world. A hectoliter is 100 liters, so it's a lot of wine. Overall grape production globally, this is wine grapes, raisins, and table grapes. Wine grapes are in the kind of purplish color. Dried grape, which is a raisin, is in the yellowish color. And then table grapes are in the green color. So China produces a lot of grapes, but it's about table grapes for them, as it is with India, Iran, Egypt, Turkey, Uzbekistan. The reason for some of those countries is because a lot of people are Muslims and they don't drink alcohol. But notice for the United States, and then Spain, Portugal, Italy, Germany, Chile, Argentina, even Brazil, Australia, South Africa, all big producers of wine. You know, this is the thing. Wine is worth something. Table grapes, much less. People will pay a lot of money for a 750 milliliter bottle of fermented grape juice. It's remarkable, but true. Olive oil production centers on the Mediterranean basin. Most of the olive oil production on Earth happens in the countries that surround the Mediterranean. And you can see these are the major producers around the Mediterranean and their distribution. Spain is the largest olive oil producer in the world, period. Other producers, though, include California, South Africa, and Australia. In fact, in California, we have a growing olive oil industry. What are the differences in olive oil? You've probably heard of olive oil before. Is it 100% olive oil when you buy it? Well, you need to look at the label. Extra virgin, virgin, regular, light, and quote-unquote olive oil. Sometimes things that are labeled just olive oil, if you look, are actually a mix of oils. Extra virgin tends to be the most expensive. It's the single pressed. It has the lowest acidity. It has the fruitiest flavor to it. And then you kind of go over to the right, and the quality of it tends to kind of go down. And of course, the price goes down also. So extra virgin means first pressing, lower acid content, fruitiness of the oil. But when you get towards the far right-hand side, they can combine oils and call it olive oil as long as the majority of the oil is olive oil. Other Mediterranean crops include things like tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, citrus products, tree fruits and nuts, garden variety fruits and vegetables like what you would grow in your backyard. One of the benefits of Mediterranean agriculture is because of the climate, warm, dry summer, cool, moist winter, you can do multiple cropping, which means you can grow more than one crop on the land throughout the year. So you can use all of the seasons. But this type of climate is also subject to drought and fires, as we know in California. So, is it intensive or extensive? It's intensive because of the investment combined with the cost to the consumer.